Butthurt Democrats and gentlemen. I'll intro this video by mentioning that I did not vote for Donald Trump. I voted for Gary Johnson, and after 4 years those reasons will be obvious. Okay, one thing we're hearing again from progressives, these people again, they're not liberals, they are not classical liberals, these people are progressives, whining about Hillary Clinton winning the popular vote. Technically, actually, the presidential election is like a jungle primary, which goes on in Louisiana, where all the candidates... Now, granted, in a jungle primary in Louisiana, you can have more than one Republican or Democrat, but in a jungle primary, you have all kinds of parties. That's kind of almost what the presidential election is like. So, if they're whining about Hillary winning the popular vote, are they so insane to think that would they declare victory if the top candidate only got 10% of the popular vote among, let's say, 8 candidates, and the winner got 10% in second place, or it'd be more than 8. Let's say there were 15 candidates, and the top person got 20%. Would they declare victory on that? I don't think so. So it's just a lot of butthurt. Some of the arguments I'm going to use here, I already used in one of my previous videos on the Electoral College. I'll also reference a great video by Tom Woods on the Electoral College, which is probably better than any other video you'll see by a whiny Hillary Clinton supporter on the Electoral College. Their argument just amounts to butthurt. It's butthurt is all it is. Here are a list of Democrats, starting with Grover Cleveland. I didn't go through a whole list. Democrats who were elected president without a 50% majority in the popular vote. So if they're going to say, oh, there wasn't a popular vote, well, I'm going to say if more than 50%, if 50.1% or more didn't vote for you, then that means you had no majority. And the vast majority, well, not necessarily a vast majority, but the majority of people who voted didn't think you were the best person. So Democrats who were elected president without a 50% majority in the popular vote. Grover Cleveland, who was, in my opinion, the last Democrat president who didn't regress the country. Grover Cleveland in 1884 and 1892. Did not get 50% of the popular vote, but yet was elected president. Woodrow Wilson in 1912 and 1916. In the former election, 1912, Woodrow wasn't considered the best candidate by more than 58% of the voting populace. How is that a victory if one agitates over the popular vote? When more than 58% of the people don't think you're the best person, that's not a victory. If you're going to whine about the popular vote. If you're going to whine about the popular vote. Harry Truman in 1948. John F. Kennedy in 1960. Bill Clinton in 1992 and 1996. In the former, 1992, almost 57% of the voting populace did not think Clinton was the best person for the job. 51.96% of the voting populace didn't think Hillary Clinton was qualified for the job. In the 8 elections I mentioned above, the average popular vote percentage was 47.1825%. 47.1825%. Hillary received 48.04%. which wasn't much higher than those Democrats who didn't hit the 50% threshold yet were elected president. For what it's worth, of all post-World War II elections, that's 1948 to 2016 for you progressives listening, the person who won the Electoral College and became president received an average of 51.6994. That's 51.6994% of the popular vote. That's post-World War II elections. The person who won the Electoral College and became president received on average, 51.6994% of the popular vote. That's quite a bit higher than Clinton's percentage. Interestingly enough, John Francois Kerry and Uncle Albert Gore Jr. received a higher percent of the popular vote than Hillary Clinton and did not become president either. So, the whining by Hillary Clinton's shallow, non-binding, useless popular vote victory is just that. Shallow, non-binding, and nonsensical. Have a nice day. and don't thank me now. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. Only one time has a presidential candidate exceeded 50% of the popular vote and not been elected president. That was in 1876, and the victim was Samuel Tilden. Samuel Tilden got 50.92% of the popular vote, but still did not win the Electoral College. So maybe if something like that happened, you'd have a little bit better case, but that's still the way it goes. That's still a very sore, very contested, controversial presidential election with a lot of deal making going on. But that's the only time someone has exceeded 50%, 50.01% or more, and not been elected president. Now you can have a nice day. And don't thank me now.